In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, Assalamu alaikum. That means peace be unto you. Welcome to Liberated Sisters, streaming at Morris Media Studios. I'm excited about the show today. We have a salute for this digital pumps on the ground segment of Liberated Sisters. That's right, digital pumps on the ground. This is Reflecting Farrakhan. Hashtag Reflecting Farrakhan. We salute the Muslim Girls in Training, that's the MGT, the Women and Girls of the Nation of Islam. Social media has never looked so good, felt so good, sounded so good as it has in these last few days of a near month-long challenge that the women in the Nation of Islam have launched in social media. It is, again, the hashtag Reflecting Farrakhan Challenge, and we'll tell you more about that with our guest, beautiful Final Call contributing writer Anisa Muhammad, a young warrior who does much work in the social media and the media realm with Joshua's Truth, a magazine that she also helps to put out. We're going to be bringing her on a little bit later to talk about the Reflecting Farrakhan Challenge and what it is. Also, we're going to have the Farrakhan Factor, and a lot is coming up for the show today. We're glad you could be with us. I'm Sister Charlene Muhammad, your host. All that and more, but first, the Justice Report. In today's Justice Report, a tribute, Final Call newspaper, a tribute to Cicely Tyson. This is a groundbreaking legend, and also we have very beautiful words by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. So before we get to the Farrakhan Factor, I just want to read a little bit of his words in tribute to the great iconic sister artist, entertainer, actress, but also a relative of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan's. So let me get to his tribute, and I will begin that a little bit, but I would love for you to download finalcalldigital.com and subscribe there, and you can read the entire paper in its entirety. But for right now, I want to go to the center article, a tribute by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, who is our publisher, to the great Cicely Tyson. It reads, "A loving tribute to Cicely Tyson by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan." And I'll just read a snippet, but you can read it in its entirety at finalcall.com. This is by the National Representative of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Nation of Islam. This is out in today's paper. Assalamu alaikum, peace be unto you in loving memory of my sister Cicely Tyson. I cannot thank Allah God enough for what he has caused me to see in her from the time that we met in California. She had a mango in her hand, and she put it on the table with a big, beautiful smile, and she said, "This says it all." Quote, "This says it all," unquote. These were words spoken of our Caribbean roots. Her mother and father and my grandmother and grandfather were all from the tiny island of Nevis in the Eastern Caribbean, connected to the bigger sister island of St. Kitts, where my mother was born. The capital of these two islands is Basseterre in St. Kitts. Pray that I said that correctly, right? So on that morning, we laughed, we drank in each other's features. As I looked at her, I saw my grandmother, my mother. Look at that beautiful Sister Cicely Tyson. I'm sorry, you all, that is not the minister's words, but I had to stop a minute myself. That last remark was mine. Thank you, Felicia, the owner here, for putting her up, the owner engineer. I'll continue with the minister's words as we drink in her beauty. So where did I leave off? Okay. We both talked about our commitment to the arts, and the woman that I met on that warm, sunny morning in Los Angeles has been to all in her profession a shining star. She never would accept parts that were demeaning to her or to her people. We traded accents in our patois that reflected our growing up under our wonderful parents and the way that they talked to us, taught us, disciplined, and shaped us into the man and woman that we would ultimately become. I am so grateful to my brother, Tyler Perry, and the wonderful way he has used her magnificent wit, giving her themes that reflected the wisdom that comes from age and the wisdom that comes from life experience. How can we say thank you to Allah God for sending such a gift as Cicely into our lives to help us live another day under the tyranny of white supremacy and racial hatred, while never letting these things throw dust on the brightness of our stars? I shall always be grateful for our connecting, the sharing of ideas, and the learning that through marriage she was my cousin. Any of those who are close to me or become close to me suffer because of the way the world looks at me. I am labeled many things that I am not. I trust in Allah God that He will defend me as it is written in the Holy Quran and the Bible, and clear me of those false charges that this world levels at those of us who demonstrate courage to speak truth to power. I take comfort in these words spoken by the master teacher, Jesus, in his Sermon on the Mount. Blessed are ye when men shall revile you, persecute you, and say all manner of evil against you falsely for my name's sake. Rejoice and be exceedingly glad, for great is your reward in heaven, for so did they, the prophets, that were before you. Love is often tried by the demand of truth that could dispel falsehood in the twinkling of an eye. Two very well-known rabbis came to my home and had dinner with me and told me that it was not for me to critique or correct them, but I should leave that to them, their own rabbinical teachers. I reminded these rabbis of a passage in the Bible concerning Lazarus, Abraham, and a rich man. The rich man was in hell, and Lazarus was in the bosom of Abraham, the friend of God. The rich man asked Lazarus, would he send down some water for his parched tongue? Abraham did not allow Lazarus to speak. He spoke for Lazarus and said, he cannot come to your aid. There is a gulf between you and him. So the rich man in hell said, I have 5 brothers. Would you send Lazarus to them? Abraham replied, God sent to your brothers the prophets, and they did not hear them. What would make you think they would hear a man speaking to them who was raised from the dead? I told the rabbis that Allah God has given me authority to speak to you and to correct you. I was once dead mentally, but through that which was revealed from Allah to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, I have been resurrected from the dead. I chided them that they knew what had been done to me as a member of a people that were made spiritually blind, deaf, and dumb. You are telling me that it is not for me to critique and correct you when I have come from God, and I do not need authority from you to correct you. I have that authority from Allah God. My sister, Cicely, escaped being victimized by those in power and control of how we are represented to our people. Cicely refused to be demeaned by the powerful people who write scripts for us and show us as they would like us to be seen before the world. She created a path that those in the arts and culture should walk behind her strength. Your creative gifts are from Allah God, our Creator. Please do not let the satanic power of money and fame cause you to disrespect the greatness of your gift and to be used for evil and filth. My Cicely would not and did not do such. Please follow her noble example. I'm going to repeat that. He put it in bold. Please follow her noble example. I'm compelled, listeners, to continue the entire letter because I just don't want to give you half of what the minister said. I can't do it. So I'm going to continue as we reflect on Cicely Tyson. Minister Farrakhan continues, may Allah God guide, bless, and protect you who read this article, and may He grant her the many great rewards that only He can give to her for the goodness of the way she used her gift and her life. Her reward did not fully come to her in life, but there is a prayer we say for the dead in Islam. O Allah, do not deprive us of her reward and do not make us fall into a trial after her. It will try you to walk after her, but this is a trial you can win. Money is not your God, so do not let the offer or lure of money cause you to compromise your dignity as a servant of God and cause you to compromise who you are as a person made in the image and likeness of God. Cicely fought that fight and she won. Hers is a life well lived, and she finished her course, and her job has been well done. I offer these words in comfort to the family, friends, and to the millions who were touched by her life. May Allah's peace be with us all. Sincerely, I am your brother and servant, Louis Farrakhan, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, servant of the Lost Foundation of Islam in the West, and all praise is due to Allah. What beautiful words and a beautiful tribute. That will conclude today's Justice Report. But I implore you, go to finalcall.com and go to Final Call Digital. Get your subscription and read the entire paper. This Final Call newspaper is such a blessing and mercy. And this edition, like the past, are on fire. I'm going to just leave it there. You got to go check it out. There's so much in it. But that's our beautiful cover story. Look at our beautiful sister. Yes, may Allah's peace be with us all. Thank you. Thank you, Minister Farrakhan. And also, thank you for being the inspiration and the wind beneath the wings of this Reflecting Farrakhan Challenge. We are going to get into that very shortly. It's coming up. Spread the word, because we're going to have Anissa Muhammad, Final Call contributing writer, co-founder, and contributor, writer, producer, what have you, of Joshua's Truth magazine, to talk about what this Reflecting Farrakhan Challenge is. But right now, we're going to lead into that with the Farrakhan Factor.
I was told to deliver this message. You think you're invincible because you got money, bombs, guns, and planes, killing babies, innocent people. I think you're insane. Chaos and destruction is the name of your game. Somebody's got to stop you before the whole world goes up in flames. So he told me to tell you, I'll fight you.
For my brothers.
Yeah.
We can go to war. Fight for my father.
I love it. I love it. That's from Let's Change the World, the documentary project by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. So right now we're going to lead into the Reflecting Farrakhan Challenge with the minister speaking about the women in Islam, the Muslim Girls in Training, known as the MGT. It's the MGT and GCC. This clip is from 10/10/15, themed Justice or Else, the 20th anniversary of the historic 1995 Million Man March. Here he is.
You know, I wish I could show you the women in the nation. These are warriors. These are scholars. But they know how to cook. They know how to sew. They know how to rear their children. And they know how to, Look at them, brothers and sisters. Now, brothers and sisters, if a sister came up and stood beside them with a mini skirt and a low-cut dress that's beckoning nursing babies, which one of these sisters would somebody say, "Hey, baby"? See, they don't talk like that to our women. And if they do, it's a terrible mistake. Now, when women are clothed, they earn respect. The beauty of your form is for your husband. And if you don't have a husband, keep it covered. Because the one that you get as a husband will be the dog that saw what he wanted, and it wasn't you. It was the beauty of your form, them beautiful hips, those succulent lips. Lord have mercy. Now, my sisters, all of them, they're very highly intelligent. You can't come to them with weak conversation because they see right through you, brother. They know how to cook. They're food scientists. And let me tell you, sisters, you know you're beautiful, but a woman who's beautiful and can't cook is a killer in the kitchen. And I don't think you would be wise marrying a killer and she kill you in the kitchen with a whole bunch of greasy food. These sisters know how to keep their self alive, their families alive, their children alive. Thank you, sister.
Wow, it is so beautiful to see the sisters there. Thank you, Minister Farrakhan, for the reminder. That's him speaking at Just Israel's 10-10-15. And yes, no killers in the kitchen, but we're going to lead now from the Farrakhan factor into the Reflecting Farrakhan challenge with our guest, Anissa Muhammad, a beautiful sister, a young sister, brilliant sister. I mean, a stellar writer, among other things. Her talents are just amassed. And so, Sister Anissa, thank you for taking time to join us on Liberated Sisters. Assalamu alaikum.
Yes, ma'am. Walaikum salam.
How are you doing?
I'm well by Allah's grace. What about you?
Doing great, doing great. I would like to see you. There you oh my God. Hey, Sister Anissa. You're so beautiful. Assalamu alaikum again. I got to say it again. Oh my God.
Yes,
Yeah. So
praise.
yeah, and I put you as a co-founder, editor, producer. Tell me your role at Joshua's Truth.
Yeah. So I mean, I am the co-founder along with Sister Janaya, but we did break up our specific roles.
Uh-huh.
So I'm of the editorial director, and she's the creative director.
Wonderful. Yeah, that's necessary because they could run through and you might think one has it, the other has it. So, and it just makes it easy, doesn't it?
Right. Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Well,
It really does.
yeah. Well, look, thank you on behalf of, I would really like to say, I think I can say the final call because this isn't the first time that our paper has been enriched. You know, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, of course, is the publisher. Our editor, Brother Naba, editor-in-chief, Brother Naba Muhammad, Sister Starla Muhammad, our managing editor. And this is not the first time that we've been able to utilize some of your work. And I love the spread that we saw. So tell us about the Reflecting Farrakhan Challenge as you wrote about it for us. I know this is an envision envisioned by our student national captain, Naima Muhammad, and those working with her, the team. But to see it just flourish on social media and then to see the article in the paper is beautiful. So take us into
Right.
Reflecting Farrakhan.
Yes, ma'am. So basically, as out, I guess as a person doing the challenge, it's more of it's a call for the MGT to more well, really all of the MGT, but also, of course, Vanguard, Young Sisters in the Nation, to clean up our social media pages, to actually reflect Farrakhan, to, not have our hair not have our hair showed, displaying the modesty and the beauty of women in the Nation of Islam. And so, we actually published that article on Joshua's Truth.
Mm-hmm.
We actually published that article on Joshua's Truth the first day of the challenge because I
Wow.
kind of, just sent Sister Janaya a text like, we need to do something. And she's
Yeah.
like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
do." And so we kind of just compiled some of the posts that the sisters were making on Facebook,
Mm-hmm.
Twitter, Instagram, and we just, just did the write up. And
Yeah.
so, yes, ma'am.
It's beautiful. Don't we have just like a groundbreaking national captain and like the move
We
out on and serving and showcasing the women? It reminds me of, and tell me what you think about this, Sister Anissa, saving our girls, save our girls when we had the headquarters in Chicago at our national center, the conference, but it was open to the world, right?
right, right. Yes, ma'am. It does because, like, during that message, the 7 units of the MGT were really placed in the
Mm-hmm.
forefront. Like, we do this, we do this, we do this,
Yeah.
and like, Louis Farrakhan really like laid not only the foundation of who we are, but also, the expansion of, home is our base, but it's not our place, where as Mother Tynette, world travelers, we do this, that, and the other.
Yes.
So, like, we not only, cook, clean, take care of the house, husband, all of that stuff, but
Right.
we also, do all of these other things, and we also make the 7 units
Yeah.
creative expression.
Yeah.
And so I think the Reflecting Farrakhan challenge is sort of, like you said, I guess a continuation of that, if you will, like,
Yeah.
we're also putting the 7 units on display. We're putting our creativity and our expression on display for the world to see. So,
That's right. That's right. Thank you. And there's the call-in number 323-815-4204. 323-815-4204. It is a call-in show actually, and we would love to hear from you. Anyone, sisters who are participating in the challenge, tell us how you feel. How is it resonating with you? What days did you participate in? How has the challenge impacted you? And we see, Sister Anissa, right? Brothers have joined in. It's interesting because I was talking to my son, and there are some of the images. Sister Pamela, this is our Sister Pamela Muhammad. But my son was saying, this isn't for brothers. I said, FOI are definitely participating because they're reflecting in their way. He thought it was only for the women. It did start out as an MGT initiative, or a
but
desire, but any and everybody can talk about reflecting Farrakhan. But go ahead, Sister Anissa.
no, yeah, it's funny because we were talking about this in my friend group, and Sister Sabbath, from Columbus. Well, she's in Atlanta now, but
Mm-hmm.
she posted like, where the minister was saying, beat a if you beat a woman, you beat a nation. Or if you beat a man, you beat an individual. If you beat a woman, you beat a nation.
Mm-hmm.
And she was saying how he said you can replace that predicate with any word and it be true. So she posted, if you give a man a hashtag, you give a hashtag to an individual. If you give a woman a hashtag, you give the nation a hashtag. So,
Thank her for that. I think that's really key. But it's true because with the mother's a teacher. No, like no offense, brothers, but yeah. And Sister Anissa, when you get married, you will see that play out immediately. But we have a call. Let's take a call, Sister Anissa. Never mind my joking. Caller. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the show.
Wa alaikum salam. Thank you. This is Sister Donna Muhammad calling from Muhammad Mosque number 55 in Memphis, Tennessee.
Yes,
How are you,
ma'am.
my beloved Charlene?
Welcome. I'm doing good. Welcome to the show. And yourself?
I'm doing well. I'm on top of the world. Praise be to Allah. I'm calling in about the Reflecting Farrakhan Challenge
Yes, ma'am.
and the impact that it's having on me personally.
Mm.
Which is making me even more proud, first of all, to be an MGT. I don't know if proud is the right word. Grateful.
I understand.
Grateful that I have been exposed to these teachings for now 30 years as of January. But when I see all of the posts, and there's well over 15,000 posts now, of the sisters, it actually just makes me want to do even better, to just level up. That's the first thing. When I see the sisters representing the grace, the beauty, the dignity, the settings that they're showing in their home at their dining room table, our skill set, our beautiful garments. One of my favorite units in our 7 training units of MBT is sewing. I love sewing. And so to see our sisters arrayed, but bigger than that, I love the comments that are coming in from our beautiful sisters and brothers who are not necessarily registered members of the Nation of Islam, but the comments that they're making as they see it and the beauty of it, because to see it in mass like this is such a wonderful thing to feel the timeline with that. It takes away fight videos. It takes away a whole bunch of foolishness. It sheds light away from some of the other more foolish challenges. But all it does is make me want to not only elevate higher, but I want for my sisters what I want for myself. So for anybody that has commented on any of my posts, I'll let them know this is a reflection of you and every single black woman that there is.
Right.
We are reflections of one another. So anything that you see or commenting on me or any of my sisters, it's the same commentary for you. Because we're reflections of one another, and for us to begin to see how valuable and sacred we are, the impact of it, because that's what we want our sisters to know. Modesty is beautiful. Civilization is beautiful. Dignity is beautiful. Refinement is beautiful. And it sets us on top of civilization, and it is time for us to get back to that anyway as the black woman. We've been denigrated long enough. It's time for us to come back to our rightful place. It shows us we're the co-creator with Allah. Everybody comes through our womb. We populate this planet by His permission, and so we want to bring that back to the forefront. And so that's been my, what I'm feeling through the Reflecting Farrakhan Challenge, and it's just exciting each day that I see my timeline filled up with so much beauty.
Yeah. Thank you. I agree. Thank you so much, Sister Donna, for participating, of course, in the challenge and for letting us know how it's resonating with you. And I look forward to seeing what you put on today. I'm a little late to Facebook. Facebook is where I live a little bit more than Twitter and Instagram. But nonetheless, I can't wait to. It's like unwrapping something each day. So thank you for calling and sharing that with us. And may Allah continue to bless you and your family.
Thank you, sister. You as well.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Sister Anissa, she really just talks. Look. Oh, I'm sorry. She really has said what I feel each time I look at it. Brother Hannibal, who is soon to be an author, has. I am thankful for. Oh, okay, Brother Hannibal. He's thankful for me, you, and Sister Donna. Thank you, Brother Hannibal. I didn't know what he was going to say. Sister Anissa. And the call-in number again, let me give it out. It's 323-815-4204. 323-815. There it is, 4204. Sister Anissa, what are some of the posts that stood out to you so far that you've seen?
Um,
I know
let's
it's
see.
not fair. I know. I know.
A lot.
I know.
I really enjoy, and I'm kind of looking them up too, so I can.
I know, right?
But I really enjoy Sister Kanetta's post from Atlanta. Like she's really the way she's incorporated TikTok into them and like some of the TikTok challenges, but
Hmm.
instead it's reflecting Farrakhan.
Yeah.
So, I thought that was really creative.
Yeah. Oh
Let's
wow.
see.
Very unique, huh? But Sister just showed one with Mother Tynette. Sorry, Mother Khadijah. Oh, thank you, Sis Felicia. Mother Khadijah. In that post, I forgot who put it. I want to say I think it was Sister Tamora Sharif, but I'm not sure. But I think that was her post, and the minister was talking here at one of our annual events, and he was speaking about the beauty, the heart, the humility, and just the power of Mother Khadijah. That was really a favorite. Oh my God, there's been so many, right? Just, it's really hard. Just like tell it, the day the sister you admire or are proud of. I was like, can we extend that one for each day every year? Because how do you go through, right? But we made
Yeah,
it. We made it through, and we get the gist of it. It's like this challenge is so broad. And the Savior's Day memory, that one brought tears to a lot of people.
it did.
Ah,
Yeah,
ah,
yeah, looking through
ah.
old, and knowing that we're not gonna meet physically and like see each other, and it's like,
I know. I keep hearing that too. I was able to see my daughter this weekend. She doesn't live in LA anymore, and we talked about that like a virtual Savior's Day. But we're looking forward to it because could you imagine not having any opportunity to fellowship, right? I mean, and we know we like God said, get in that chamber, and this is what we're doing, but it's just different. I do know that like we all just know we want to submit to your will, but I like it. Now it's like this. What is it saying? You don't miss what you had until it's gone.
right,
You
yes, ma'am.
you know like what wouldn't we give for the 12, 20 hour post? Right? It's like, oh man, we're gonna be on post. Now we're like, oh, we would love to be on post. It's just amazing. But that most memorable Savior's Day one. Can we show the one my daughter? There's one where we met the minister. I love that one too. People put
Oh,
a lot of their memories of meeting the minister, and my daughter shared that one when
mm,
we were able to meet and speak with him. They were able to some of them were able to meet him, like my son and husband for the first time. But my husband has met him before in the rebuilding. But to be able to intimately talk to him, and yeah, she talked about that one, which was big because my daughter doesn't really put a lot out like that personally. I share it, but what was your greatest memory of the minister?
yeah. The one I posted because I've never actually met him, physically, and so I kind of just shared that testimony. I shared a written testimony about, I've never met him face to face,
Mm-hmm.
but my favorite memory was, him doing the Time and What Must Be Done series because that's what really like joining the Twitter army during that time and, tweeting his message, spreading it. That's really what,
Yeah.
solidified, I guess, my journey
Mm.
through um like after I joined the Farcon Twitter army when I started, submitting to the final call and people started putting me on the rostrum because I guess if I can write then I can speak.
That's right. It's not
So
always necessarily the case though, but you do that very well, sister.
praise be to Allah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that
So
let's
that kind of shared that testimony.
yeah. Yeah. And look, the Farrakhan Twitter army is so special to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, You all we but look, we have no not jumping there, but the Farrakhan Twitter army helped by Allah's grace through the dedication and the desire of Brother Abdul Qiyam Muhammad, formerly Brother Jesse, who we call the General, of the Twitter
Right.
army, it helped to break the minister out of that prison, And one of the things it did most recently that we saw was like there are new generations that don't know about the Million Man March. They don't know about this man and his works. And so the enemy is ever marching and ever working to discredit and defame him. And so to be able to have that platform, although many of our official sites have been removed from social media and the minister has been banned. But see, that's the other thing about this Reflecting Farrakhan challenge. It's like Farrakhan is not just one person, you know. Farrakhan is universal. You can't get rid of him. And so I like that you mentioned the Twitter army. It's like you'll be dealing with the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan for years and years and eons to come. I don't even want to just start talking about the weight of this man on my life, but it's just evident. Look at the works, right? And that's what I love about the Reflecting Farrakhan challenge as well, because social media is a place where you could just wild out. you know People can become who they want to become. They can a lot of different things, but at the end of the day, when I think about this challenge, for me, it challenged me to accept my own and be myself.
Mm,
Like, as a matter of fact, it's just coming to me now that in this pandemic, which is a transitional phase, we do have the physical deaths and ailments because of this virus. But
right.
there's also the mental, spiritual transition, and this whole world. These two worlds are in a transition, and will we make it? And so this social media, this Reflecting Farrakhan challenge helped me to say, hey, get out of these sweats. Get out of these
Right.
sweats and these shoes. Going to the store. I mean, like right now, it's clicking with me, like click, click, click. So thank Allah for the MGT and this mind that brought this, and for people's participation, because you make it real. It's being made real. So the call-in number, and I'm coming right to you, Sister Anissa, it's 323-815. I think I know it by heart. 815-4204. People are commenting on social media. So, Sister Anissa, I heard you were getting ready to say something, and then after that, I will share some of the comments that I'm seeing.
Oh, yes, ma'am. I was just well, the thought popped up when you were saying, like get out of these sweats and everything. That was sort of another conversation I had with my friends because they were like, I didn't even pay attention to how my hair was slightly different in that one picture, or maybe like my collarbone or something was showing.
Mm,
And
right.
so, it's like the tiny details that, we just kind of let it slip by and posted it on
Mm,
social media. And like now we're just kind of going through and archiving
right.
pictures. Like,
Right.
well, maybe not like exactly to our standard.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
man.
Thanks for sharing that. Thank you, Brother Hannibal. Brother Hannibal has two of my favorite sisters. Some of the posts out with the old, in with the new. The Farrakhan Twitter army helped to break the menace out of the media prison. Thank you to Juan Muhammad, who assists with the program, a production assistant that keeps me on my toes and keeps the show vibrant. So thank you, Sister Tawan. Brother Ahmad Majid said, when I began seeing the post, I had to recall the instructions. I had to recall the instructions to lower my gaze and be modest. The MGT are beautiful in every sense of the meaning. That's right, Brother Mod. But yeah, I mean, thank you for sharing. Sister Barbara says all praises due to Allah. May Allah continue to bless you and the family Farrakhan factor. Sister, I think Sister Barbara gives you and your family the greetings too, Sister Barbara
Oh,
Muhammad. Let me see what city she's from. I asked her to call in because she did call
from
earlier.
Jacksonville.
Yes,
Um,
yes, absolutely. Call, you all can
all-
call in. The line is clear. We can take a call at a time. But sister, you said something when you mentioned the collarbone and what have you. See, with me, what I realize is and I'm not going to use the pandemic as an excuse. I'm just saying it this is when I started paying attention to it. Running out, trying to get the essentials and run back, fight. And
mm,
believe me, it's a fight in the lines, in hot long lines, especially early on when we came into the chambers. So it's like most expedient outfit, most comfortable. You have your caps, you have those different things that we know that we can wear, but those are
Right.
certain types of attire. It's fitness attire, workout attire. But I'm reminded, like in student minister Aisha Muhammad, who is in Phoenix. She's been a long time student minister in the Western region here at Mosque number 27, and she moved to Phoenix. And her husband is the Captain Emeritus, the regional Captain Emeritus, Abdul Wali Muhammad, who's made his transition to Allah. But she always spoke about and is always an example, along with Sister Betty Muhammad, the author of Dear Holy Apostle, who was a secretary to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. They're examples of representing, not just when it's time to go to our meetings or to be out or on air or something, And so I'm like, I need to get me some grocery store attire, instead of, again, these tennis shoes or these shoes that's easy for a lot of this packing and all this different things. It's a lot, but you make me think about that. And I often would joke, do not run my reel, right? And I said, no, that's hypocrisy. Accept your own, right? And be yourself and run it so that at any time, then reflecting Farrakhan is day or night. And then taking it out of the garment, right? And putting it
Right.
here and consistently. And this is what being in the chamber is helping me to see where myself personally needs to improve. So this reflecting Farrakhan challenge is just like tenfold beneficial on so many different levels. But by the way, this is an outfit from Dematis. As we talk about reflecting Farrakhan, it comes with the tam. You can also put your drape scarf, but we have different colors. And this is the MGT. We make our clothes. So this is from the MGT product line. It's Demodest, DEMODEST online. I'll post the link on the thread right now. Yes, Sister Anissa, carry it on. Oh, here's Sister Donna. She says, okay, she's giving Sister Tawan, the official conscious program moderator on all platforms. Yes, Sister Tawan is off the chain. Sister Tawan wouldn't come on to say it, but I want to say it before we go to you, Sister Anissa. A sister posted a tribute about her, and it was so beautiful because it was a Vanguard, that's our younger arm. What is it, 16 to 35, Sister Anissa? It's the age?
It's 16 to 35.
16 to 35. I thought it was 34, but yeah, 35. And she paid tribute in the challenge to Sister Tawan Muhammad out of D.C. because for the time and what must be done, Sister just wanted to, among other things, a lot of things that she does, she just wanted to get more people aware of the time and what must be done. And she took out bus ads in D.C. And so, those are the types of things we saw. It was just beautiful to read what, a sister saw in another sister. And what do we say? Just a reflection of you. So it's constantly just holding each other up, right?
Right. Yes, ma'am.
Before,
And,
yes.
I mean, I don't really know like much else to add. I think it is, it's putting us back up to the standard at which God wants us to be in, I think.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. And it reminds me of Yolanda Adams. And she has the song Be Blessed. Oh, the beautiful Yolanda Adams. And toward the end of the song, she's talking and wishing and praying. And she says, do not do anything that God would not have you to do. And what resonates so much about that song with me is because my mom would always say that, just don't do anything you wouldn't be. If you can't stand in front of us or God, then you probably shouldn't do that. And then I started adding things because I wanted to be a judge, right? A superior court judge. And I would say, well, don't do anything that would stop you from being able to be a judge. So I kind of try to keep a clean record. But I digress. Brother Hannibal says, the sisters' representation remind me of when Holy Day of Atonement was in Jamaica and when Sister National Captain Naima Muhammad went to Mecca. Oh my goodness. Yeah. I should have played a clip of Sister Student Captain, National Captain, pardon me, Naima. That Jamaica message is still something. And to be out, because I was blessed to be assigned the coverage of the push there, and the
Mm,
sisters went out, of course, heavily protected and surrounded by the FOI, and we were distributing the invitations to the people to come out and hear the minister. The shock and awe that was on some of the faces, and just the love that the brothers and sisters gave to the people. There was one young brother who just, I was on reporting duty, but I was watching him. He just kept staring at the national captain, staring, and he just had to get to her. So I was telling my husband, "What? Look at him." And of course, the brothers did, and he made his way. And if he was stopped, but then he was able to be cleared and ask a couple of questions, and he wanted a picture, and he was able to get a picture, and that picture I think did make it to the final call. But just so beautiful. Brother Hannibal, thank you for that. Brother Hannibal has a book coming out. I want you to go to hannibal.com. That's all I'm going to say. Hannibal.com. Brother Hannibal has a great book coming out in tribute to his father. That is all I'm going to say. Go to hannibal.com for more information. So, Sister Nisa, before we go, we have about maybe 9 more minutes. I want to talk to you about your reflection of Farrakhan in your writing. Sister, your articles, and they're many, you know, they're brilliant, they're poignant, and they're clear. And I want to thank you so much for being such a strong member of the team. And in all, you're welcome. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's HannibalMuhammad.com. HannibalMuhammad.com. Thanks for the correction, Brother Hannibal. HannibalMuhammad.com. And I'll make an announcement toward the end. But Sister Anissa, how did you come to write for the Final Call newspaper? Everyone, all of us have such a journey. I just love hearing it. Oh, Brother Hannibal, nice picture. How did you come to write for the paper, sister? Tell us.
yes, ma'am. So, sort of, kind of like I touched on. I was writing. Not right. I was a part of the Farrakhan Twitter army, and so I kind of just opened the Final Call one day and saw the youth speak section, and I think, yeah, I was like 15 years old. And I kind of just was like, I mean, I like to write, so I might as well submit something. And so the first article was on Master Fard Muhammad and celebrating July 4th for the right reasons, which of course we know is his coming and not America's independence. And so, I was kind of like, I kind of just submitted it. It was like, we'll see what happens. And I was on vacation with my family when like I got a response from Brother Naba. I'm not really sure who responded, but they were like, "We're running your piece. Submit a picture." And I'm like, "Oh." So that was the first
Wow.
2013.
That, are you there? I'm looking for it because I want to show it. Are you there, Sister Nisa? You said it was what year?
Yes, ma'am. 2013. I think it was like at the beginning of July because that was it was around July 4th.
Wow. Oh my gosh. So much is coming up, like guidance in a warm, or guidance in a time of trouble. So I won't keep my head down looking for it, but go to finalcall.com, search out Sister Anissa's articles. They are fire, as is said in social media. What article was that you found to be the most rewarding so far? Meaning, when I say rewarding, I mean growth. Which one where you exhibited, you could tell a lot of growth from when said you wanted to write, and rewarding in terms of the actual story and what you may have learned about that subject, regardless of what subject or topic it was.
Right. Um, I want to say it was the also brought it up on the Closing the Gap broadcast we were both on, but I want to say it was the
Hmm.
story on Elijah McClain, but more so
Mm.
talking to parents of autistic children or parents of children with mental disabilities. And I want to say that one because you know coming fresh out of college and going right into writing for the final call on a on a weekly basis. Like I didn't really like I didn't I don't have. I feel like I don't really have a lot of experience per se, even though I've been technically writing since I was 15. But
Right.
really, new sort of articles. And I had an internship in like the summer of junior year, while I was in college at a local newspaper in Macon, Georgia.
Hmm.
And they really stressed the importance of starting with personal anecdotes or something that would draw people in, like a human touch to the story.
Hmm.
um and so I think around that time Brother Naba also could on the final call Zoom calls that we have, he was stressing like some stories we need to lead with a softer touch to sort of get to that human aspect or that personality aspect. So I think I was able to do that with that story on the basically it was just like a lot of mothers, saying
Mm.
I saw my son when I saw Elijah McClain, or like I feared for my son's life and that sort of thing, but it really got
Mm.
to that human sort of element. So
Yeah, yeah. Thank you for sharing that. That's very beautiful, and I experienced similar. I can understand what you're saying. I didn't graduate. I say I'm a perpetual senior, right? On hiatus. I went on hiatus to have my daughter and hadn't been back. But all I had was my senior theses and my
mm,
news writing papers, and when I tell you, it was like I don't know. I rejected sending them in, but yeah, you were writing a long time, and sister, you're doing a wonderful job. I love the stories. I'm telling you, and yeah, the one about Elijah, those are tough. Those are tough pieces, but the ability to be able to get them done and take us where what you're hearing is beautiful, and it's priceless, because the masses who read the paper don't have the privilege, but also the opportunity. I don't want to say it's a privilege in some cases. It depends on what you're covering, but I don't want to say the word privilege talking about a death, but the opportunity, or they're not in the space. So what we get and what you get and how you bring it is key.
yes, ma'am.
Yeah, yeah. So I think we're gonna get out, but there was one more comment. Thank you for books for opening mic. I think, did you give her some books for the opening mic? So she thanks for that.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Sister Barbara.
Praise
Um,
be to God.
yeah, Tracy Muhammad said it puts in my mind when we would go door to door extending invitations to our people in the community of Los Angeles, LA, Compton, Long Beach, and West Coast sisters. All praises due to Allah. Um, yes, more people were just pretty much saying that they're loving the Reflecting Farrakhan Challenge. So, Sister Anissa, how can people be in touch with you if they want to talk to you about the magazine or just anything? Do you want to promote anything else? Yeah, let's promote the magazine.
Okay, yes, ma'am. So, you can access Joshua's Truth magazine by going to joshuastruth.com. We're also on social media. Twitter is just Joshua's Truth, and you spell Joshua like the Joshua in the Bible. That's where we took the name from.
Mm-hmm.
And well, on Instagram, we're Joshua's Truth magazine. So you can find us Twitter, Instagram. You can go to our website. You can also, look us up, the co-founders. My Instagram is Nisa, Nisa, the writer. And Sister Janaya is, I always forget her. Sister Janaya is Naya.a, so NAIYAH.a. So you can follow either one of us, or you can follow the magazine on social media. So yeah,
Wonderful. Give me Jania's again. It's at N.
yes, it's NAYAH dot the letter A.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's it. Okay, got it. I put them in. It okay. It NAYAH dot A.
NAIYAH dot.
NAI. Okay, good. And I need Facebook to. Okay, got it. It was, auto correcting. Well, Sister Anissa and viewers, thank you for letting me have that. I need to put that in the thread. But thank you for being with me, Sister. I called out to you today and you responded. I just wanted to do something on the challenge. Thank you for Joshua's Truth. Thank you for contributing to the Final Call newspaper. May Allah continue to bless you with success and make this show your home. Anytime you want to push something out, let me know.
Yes, ma'am. Praise be to Allah. Thank you again for inviting me on.
Praise be. Absolutely. It's your show. And Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
So that is our show for today. Thank you, beautiful, mighty MGT of the Nation of Islam, student captain, student national MGT GCC captain, who is in charge of all of the women in the Nation of Islam, our leader, the leader of our class, the head of our class, make no mistake about it, is the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And Sister Student National Captain Naima serves so well under his leadership and guidance. It's just so beautiful. One day, what do y'all think about this? If Liberated Sisters did a show highlighting the works and the love and the heart of the Student National MGT captain, would you tune in, and also would you testify of what you know about her? Because saving our girls, our own sewing machines, the China mission, and Jamaica, on and on and on, the clothing, all of this on the shoulders of those like Mother Khadijah Farrakhan, Mother Tynetta, on and on and on. We could call the roll of the women that have come before so that we can be here today. Would you tune in? Let me know. I want to do that, but I would love to have your participation. So, you know, I'm getting full thinking about it. But yeah, thank you, MGT. Thank you, National Student Captain Naima Muhammad. Thank you, everyone who envisioned reflecting Farrakhan, the challenge with her, and is making it happen, those who are participating. Thank you, Felicia, the Poetess Morris, and Morris Media Studios. Thank you again to our guest, Anissa Muhammad, and those who called in. I'm Sister Charlene Muhammad saying, if it's impacting our community or can uplift us as a people, let's talk about it. Peace.